All right, everybody, good afternoon, and welcome back to another Shadow of the Golden Dome interview. Today, I am super thrilled to have a couple special guests, Quincy and Kristen Faison, parents of Notre Dame's two-sport standout Jordan. Jordan has been a huge part of the Irish football team as a receiver, earning rights as the Sun Bowl MVP as a freshman last season, and clutch in this year's CFP run. And oh, yeah, he's a lacrosse champion also. We'll touch on this later, but you also have your son following and your son Dylan following in Jordan's footsteps. We'll get to that. We got a lot to talk about. Thank you to both of you for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very welcome.
Appreciate that very much. All right, we'll start here. So Jordan was a multi-star sports star at Pinecrest, football, lacrosse, and I believe basketball. When did you first spot? I mean, all kids play sports, but when did you spot that special fire in him that this kid's going to play at the next level and not only maybe one sport, but two? And did you picture him playing at a school like Notre Dame?
Well, I'm not sure the exact age but his first sport was soccer. And, maybe we're a little bit of a competitive family, a little bit overzealous, but, he was above and beyond a lot of the kids he was playing. And that had to be, what, 4 or 5 that he was playing soccer. So we knew that he had a fire, or you really can't tell athletically at that age, right? But you can tell how, some kids are looking at the sky and some kids are actually trying to go, score a goal. And he was that kid that was trying to score goals. So we knew that he was different from a passion standpoint. But athletically, obviously the years had to go by to kind of figure that portion out.
Was there anything that you two were doing as parents, watching him kind of grow and grow into this serious sports player? Was there anything that you did to try and funnel that energy, or did this just kind of organically just turned into this, two sport star, multi-sport star? Was there anything that you did once you kind of picked up on that?
Yeah, I would say for the organic part of it, as he's our oldest, so he was the first. We were learning as he was learning, and we were moving from sport to sport. And he actually was in soccer and baseball, and then that transitioned into lacrosse and football, and then that went from there. So the transition for us was more middle school age when we went out of state to start playing for lacrosse. And we saw that there's a whole new world of, another sport out there. Soccer is huge, obviously, here in South Florida. Football is big, but less, popular than soccer was. So, that's how our change happened. We decided to pick up our family and for summers go up to Long Island and play with the best. And that was our like bar. We knew they had the top lacrosse, at least in the country. So we're like, let's see if he can make it here. You as parents always believe that your kids can do anything and they're capable of it all, but we decided that we needed to put it to the test. So our journeys took us up to Long Island, and it took off from there. They played amazing, both of them. They both did that trip. And then we were more focused on the lacrosse side. And then, obviously they were both still playing football, but that world was still new to us. We didn't, there's no travel teams that go with that. 7-on-7 wasn't a thing back then. There wasn't all of these things that you can get into. Lacrosse just sort of took over for us. And then while they were still playing in high school, then we saw it on the football field too, his senior year. So he's a late bloomer. So it took a little time for us to get there with football, but it was a desire he always had.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always wanted him to be playing sport throughout the year, right? And soccer down here really was kind of forcing the hand of, hey, you either choose soccer or nothing else. And so that's when we kind of got into some other sports and, stayed competitive in lacrosse and football. And that's where he dedicated himself to.
Where does this come from? Did mom and dad play sports growing up? Any collegiate sports? I didn't look into that before we got on this call.
Yeah, so I played football and I wrestled in high school, and then I wrestled at Bucknell University. And then
I went to school. I also went to Bucknell and for track. but I was a gymnast, basketball. I was multi-sport as well as Quincy our whole lives. So it's an ongoing joke in the family of where he gets his athletics from, and we all know it's me.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, we'll go down the road a little bit here with Jordan's career. So he's recruited so he's primarily looking at lacrosse, and he's recruited by Duke, Ohio State, Syracuse, Michigan, a couple Ivy Leagues also. Can you take us behind the scenes? This is one of my favorite parts of interviewing parents is can you take us behind the scenes as much as you're willing to share or can share as far as what that looks like when these different schools are wanting him on the team and how they kind of jockey for position, they show where they feel he fits in, and also how that might change between lacrosse to football. Obviously, football is king in the collegiate sports world. There's money over there. I don't know if that's crept into the other sports as much, but can you kind of take us behind the curtain there?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so lacrosse recruiting is a little bit different than football, right? So football has their open periods where they can communicate, as early as, their sophomore year, freshman year, right? So they're starting to establish relationships with those kids at an early age. Lacrosse is different. Lacrosse is September 1st, going into their junior year, you really can't have, any conversation with the kids. And so midnight of September 1st, that's when all the coaches, they've got their boards, just like everyone else has their boards. And, they're either on the phone, they're calling, they might be at the airport, right? Ready to go see somebody or, top athlete in whatever jurisdiction they might be at. So 11:59, as soon as the clock strikes midnight, the phones just start going crazy. And I'll just tell you a story from a Jordan perspective. We played in something called was it Midnight Mania? Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
tournament, right? So the tournament lasted until about 11:45 p.m. And so we get back to her sister's house. It was in Pennsylvania. We show up at around 11:58, right? And so we're all sitting around the couch. He's got his phone out. 11:59 hits, midnight hits. And so we're all like, and then there was crickets, right? There was nothing going on. And then like 10 seconds later, all his text messages, ding, 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 ding. Like, oh, wow, this is a little bit overwhelming for him. And we had to catch a 6 o'clock flight in the morning to come back to South Florida. So, he's responding to the text, he's calling. The next couple of days were just a whirlwind for him, right? A junior in high school, really unexpected to have to, have conversations with, I don't know, 20, 25 different people,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right, that condensed time frame. Whereas football, you're building relationships over a long period of time to talk to those 25. Lacrosse, those 25 are hitting you up at the exact same time at midnight going into your junior year on September 1st. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a fast process once it happens. Then also, because like you alluded to, the money is different in the non-rev sports, so they don't have as many scholarships. So it's the stress. You don't know. First of all, you don't know who's contacting you, so you have no clue who really is interested in your child until that time, and then you have to organize all of where everyone fits, where you see them, and try to travel, and then add on to us. We're in Florida, so most of the people are up north, and that's where most of the recruiting is being done. So these people can drive. Plus, down here, we start August 1st for football. So Jordan has already started in football. Up north, they haven't even started yet, so they're able to travel. And it's like this rush. And again, first child, we have no idea how this works. And you're seeing people going places and people are committing, and you feel this overwhelming just pressure to get things done quickly. I mean, we were burning Jordan out, like, straight from football practice. We're jumping on a plane, we're flying out to wherever. We're trying to organize everything. We hadn't seen half of these schools. Some of the schools weren't even on our list, we didn't think about. So it is so chaotic and so fast. I think he committed within 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think September 15th, he was committed to Notre Dame.
So it's like, and you're afraid you're going to miss out on money, and can we afford it if they can't? So it's just the most chaotic 2 and 3 weeks and the pressure. It was ridiculous. It's a really rough process.
I imagine just as much for the parents, right? Because you've got your junior in high school that's trying to make these decisions, probably isn't completely prepared to make them, right? Do you like lay out a battle station on the kitchen island and say, okay, these schools are out, these schools are in. Now, how do we pare this down? Is that kind of what it looked like? I mean, can you do due diligence on over 20 schools?
Well, you can't, right? So you've really got to, and we had great advice from his coach, Joe Spallina from Long Island. He coaches the girls over at Stony Brook. You know, given that he was a girls coach, he understands the coach's perspective in recruiting. So he was, hey, you're not going to go see 25 schools. You're not going to, drag this along. You're not going to tell coaches you're interested and you're really not. So if you've got your list of your top five or your top 10, anybody else that calls you, you need to let them know immediately that you're not interested, right? They're not in the top 10 and thank them for that. So that helped a lot because then we could really narrow down, what that selection criteria was with, six schools, I think was at the time that we narrowed it down. So it made it a lot easier. But yeah, we had kind of a board that says, hey, what's the value that you like? Do you like, is it area? Is it school? Is it diversity? Is it all these things? And made him go through the checkbox when making a decision.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go down the road a little further. So he arrives at Notre Dame, lacrosse scholarship, and then he walks onto the football team. Was that always his desire to try and get onto the football team as well? Were those conversations going on before he got onto campus? Can you kind of let us know how that came about?
Yes. So when he first, obviously he was always lacrosse and always had a desire to do both. But we hadn't spoken to any coaches about football, so we were unsure of where he might stand. So once he got started in his senior year, and he was like, I think I can do this. He got a little more confidence, he got a little more size. So it changed his perspective, and he's like, no, I need to pursue this. So we had a complete reshuffling. He knew he loved Notre Dame. I mean, it is what he wanted, it is where he wanted to be. But obviously, he's shooting straight to the top. And like,
Mm.
in our opinions, he was just not sure that it was going to be an option. So we sort of worked through the lacrosse coaches at Notre Dame, and they were fantastic. And they helped us. What's that?
Brady.
Yeah, yeah. Brady Quinn also was taking things in and helping us out. He was Jordan's quarterback's coach for just a week or two at Pinecrest, but again, God's intervention in life, I think that was another blessing for him. But so all these people were reaching out to Coach Freeman and staff to say, hey, just take a shot on this kid. I think he would be a good fit. And the only thing he wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for a spot on the team. He wanted a walk-on position, and he knew he needed to earn every little bit of what he got. So we were very proud of him for taking that risk. And when they let him do it, it was
it goes back to what you're saying, right? That checkbox. So at the 11th hour, once we got into his senior season, there was an additional checkbox that got added, right? Can I play football? And then there were some schools that contacted him and said, hey, you can play both. There were some schools that contacted him for football only. And obviously Notre Dame had the opportunity to allow him to be a preferred walk-on that freshman year, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Touch on the Brady Quinn connection a little bit. We're big fans of him here. He was my favorite. So the minute I heard that name, I was like, we gotta come back to this. What role was he playing? Was he pushing him to like pursue the two sports or pursue the football end, or what role did he play?
Yeah, so I coached Jordan pretty much his entire life, and I coached him through high school. So our athletic director at Pinecrest Brady wanted to help out. So he came out to our one of our practices that I was not there, and he saw Jordan at quarterback. And so the next day I show up and I'm talking to Brady. He's like, "Hey man, this kid can play quarterback at the next level." And then as a dad, I'm like, "Hey, he's not a quarterback, right? He's filling in for a kid that didn't come back to play for us." So it's like, man, I know the guy at Navy, I know the guy at Army. He can run the triple option. And so me and Brady just stayed in contact, right? And I would every now and then get a clip of Jordan. I'm like, hey, can you forward this over to the Notre Dame guys? And that was his junior year, right? And the first thing came back was, hey, we like his tape. This is again junior year. We need to see his measurables. We need to see his 40. He needs to be like at least 180 pounds. So it was all these little steps.
Very cool.
And so his senior year, I sent a tape to Brady. It's like, hey, all those things you talked about, he can do. And so Brady sent his tape in to some guys, and it got over to Coach Freeman, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So this will be an interesting question, especially for the two of you. So you watch him win a lacrosse national title, and then did you make it? Were you around for all the college football playoff games? Oh, you were. Okay, awesome. How is it as parents keeping up? Because you've got the two kids, they're both athletically inclined. Jordan's on this amazing run. How how do you two divide and conquer? What does that look like as parents when you're trying to watch all these games because you can't be in, two spots at once? What does that look like as from being fans of your kids? Like, are you two on opposite ends of the country? Are you all over the place? Are you FaceTiming games or what? What does that look like?
Well, we've got the schedule for both kids here that we go through and determine who's going where.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for the most part, we try to get to both kids' things,
Yeah.
right, as much as we can. So if it flying in and flying out same day, that's what we do. So
And it's easier. Football is easier, obviously Friday night lights and then Saturday game days. So it's not easy on us because we're up at 3 a.m. after the Friday night game. We're on a flight. We're flying in hot, literally, like we're getting there just in time for the player walk. Barely get to see Jordan, but we are there for every single game.
yep.
Lacrosse is a lot different. The scheduling is for the high school, it includes a lot of Saturday games. So we do divide and conquer. Like tomorrow, Dylan will hopefully have a game here at 12, and Jordan will be playing at 1 in Atlanta. So he's taking Atlanta, I'm staying home. So, we if we can both go, we both go. If we have to fly in and out the same day, we do that. But we try to get there for absolutely everything. We don't want to miss a minute.
Do you enjoy the traveling? Do you enjoy it or do you get tired? I mean, you of course enjoy watching your sons play, but do you ever sit down and say, "Good God, another flight tomorrow," or do you enjoy every step of this journey?
Me personally, I absolutely love it. Right, it
Yeah,
kind of back to my college days. I mean, the football tailgates with the parents, the
yeah, yeah,
cross tailgates with the parents. It's just like it's a vacation, and when you take a step back and it's glass half full, glass half empty, right? It's like
yeah.
you can say that this is a pain, or you can be excited of friends that you've never had across the country that you're reconnecting with every week. So
Yeah, we make the most of every minute. We have our lacrosse and football families are just that. They are our family, and everyone takes care of one another. They have anything we're missing. They know when we're coming in. They know we have to leave early. They take care of Jordan when we're not there. It's 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 just like going and visiting your family every weekend. So we have a great time everywhere we go.
It's
We make
fantastic.
we make it good for us too. Like, yes,
Yeah,
Jordan, you're playing great, but this is a fun time for us. We're trying to enjoy it. I
yep.
mean,
yep.
seeing them out there is one thing, but connecting with people and building new relationships is also very important because those are the people who are looking out for your child. So that's
Yeah, oh,
important.
that's fantastic. Yeah, you get to pregame, you get to have fun, and then you get to watch your kid play sports at a high level when it's all said and done, right? I mean, can you beat it? That's awesome.
Mhm.
Um, compare two championship games for me. I think I'll know the answer, but so you
The pain.
watch a national championship in lacrosse. I've got to assume there's a little more pomp and circumstance in Atlanta, but what's the dynamic in those two games? What's it feel like? Is it just super overproduced in Atlanta and a little more pared down for the lacrosse, or compare those weekends if you don't mind?
Yeah. So I mean, this is a really great question of how you compare the two, right? Obviously, football is on a huge, bigger scale than lacrosse. Lacrosse is over a full weekend, right? So you'll have, I think it's the quarterfinals or semis, and then the finals. So you're 2 days back to back. Now you go from, on average, 5,000 people watching a lacrosse game to 30,000 people watching the finals, and so there is a huge difference between watching a regular season game and then watching it 30,000 from lacrosse. It seems small compared to 100,000 or 80,000 in football, but the atmosphere is just as electric, right? Because you grew from regular season to the pros, I mean, to
Mm,
the so tailgating and all that kind of stuff is through the roof, and the excitement is great. From a football standpoint, same thing, right?
Mm.
It's exciting. You know, you're at the very end. You know, you're still doing all the tailgating. It's on a larger scale, and there's a bunch of things going on around the game, like the media and visiting certain things. But game time, it's the same excitement, right?
Yeah.
Regardless if it's 85,000 and 30,000, you're at the pinnacle of that sport. And you know it's tomorrow. There's no practice. There's no games. You've got to win that game. And so from that perspective, it's really the same as far as what I think. I mean,
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the stress is different for the two. Obviously, I feel like I can enjoy myself more in the lacrosse season because I know the pressure that the boys feel on the football side. If those boys were just playing football and there weren't a lot of criticism or whatever around it, they know they're playing for something bigger, whereas lacrosse gets to play for their team and their school. And they don't have to, not that they don't get criticism, but obviously it's way less. So I think there's one where you can just have fun and feel like no matter what happens, you can be proud right away. And the other, you might take a lot more slack for how the game went, or it's a very different to compare. So, and we have opposite, we have a win and a loss, so it's like
Right.
mm,
that obviously I feel a little differently because if it were two wins, maybe I would be sitting here saying something different, but it's but the atmosphere is amazing in both. It's exciting for lacrosse and football.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of cool to hear you talk about the lacrosse, which I don't have a lot of familiarity with, if I've got to be honest. But it's kind of cool to listen to you talk about it. It's like, you might have 3 to 5,000 people most of these games, and then as you ramp up to the finals, you go to 30,000 people. That's quite a multiple, right? Where every Notre Dame football game, if you're away, it's their Super Bowl. You're always packing every stadium for the most part. So you don't really see that dichotomy of the growth of the fans and everything, right? You really feel that in a lacrosse final. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I think you hit on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, oh, it's the finals. Here we go. And it's like, holy smokes. Where are most of those are those usually played on campus? Again, no familiarity here. Are they neutral sites at that point for the finals weekend?
Oh yeah, so the finals weekend is last year was at the link inside of in Philadelphia.
yeah, the
Oh,
past 2 years.
cool. Oh, okay. Okay.
It's in Foxborough.
Yeah.
So, and
Very cool.
remember, like this is like the Super Bowl, right? So anybody that plays lacrosse, regardless if you have a dog in the fight, will be there. Like the lacrosse community is small, so everybody shows up for this one event. That's why it's so big in the community.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so Kristen, you touched on this. You both touched on this a little bit, but I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper. Talk about your experience as part of the Notre Dame family. What's your favorite part of being part of that community? Has it shaped your experience at all as you watch your kids play, or soon to be watching both of your kids play there in South Bend? What, if you had to say one or two things that really stand out about integrating yourself into that, what would those be?
I would say the first thing for me was that I had someone to take care of my son. We are a 3 hour flight away and then a 2 hour drive. I mean, to get there is very difficult. So it was important to me to find not only in the coaching staff, but in the community of his friends, his teammates, his whatever, that there would always be someone there that could take care of Jordan if he needed anything. And obviously, we had zero worries. The staff, Coach Free and down through Coach Brown and everybody. It's just such a great community. They take care of these boys really well. It's hard. It's already difficult to send off your kid to a place that's not known really to you. And we don't know the area either. So, that was the biggest part. But what you don't think about when you have that, I was just worried about Jordan really. And me worrying about him brought me closer to all those people because then you're in their lives and then you're meeting their children and then and next thing it's not just about the partying at the tailgate, which is great to be, but it's about learning people's stories. I remember for just a little side story is we went to one of the games his freshman year, and they treat walk-ons at Notre Dame like you are anybody else, and we appreciate that more than anything. They're in the same locker rooms. They're not treated as some other group. They are their own entity. The Wapu Nation, they are fantastic. They have a support group of their own. And so my conversations with everybody at the location we were at was they almost every single person had the same stories we did. They were all walk-ons. You just don't realize you don't see those people as much. You know, you're focusing more on the top kids that are coming in. You don't hear the stories of everybody else. So that made me so comfortable and let my guard down. And these people are just like we are. You're not sure what to expect. So us getting that family was really important. Lacrosse wise, we knew a lot of people coming in. It's such a smaller community. And obviously he was recruited, so we knew families, we met families. And they're just salt of the earth, every single one of them. There's not a bad word. We're there for each other, for the good, through the bad. Everybody supports one another, good games, bad games, lifting each other up. It's shielding each other from maybe some negativity and just trying to make the best and understand we're all in this together. So it's made my whole experience with Notre Dame. It's what I love about all of it.
It's the people, right? I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it, right? Regardless if you're coming in as a walk-on, you're coming in as a freshman, you might have the top seniors' parents welcome you to the tailgate and becoming good friends. And so for us, our first experience with Jordan on campus at a football game was the people. Same thing with lacrosse. Lacrosse is the people.
Awesome. So we talk about the positive, the family element when it comes to being a Notre Dame parent, and that mirrors everything I hear from other parents also, like just the community, the love. Let's touch on the darker side of this just for a second. You've always got critics. You've always got that really, really nasty side of things. Unfortunately, because the internet exists and there's a bad side of it. And you kind of touched on it, the criticism. Well, you got tons of people that love these kids and follow them and root for them. You've got the criticism and the ugly criticism. And then as NIL starts to weave its way into everything, now there's money. And now there's money being thrown at these kids or offered to these kids. And we don't need to I don't want to dive in anything that can't be shared or dig into anything like that. But how do you two, with both of them, and I don't think I'm going on much of a limb to say Dylan's going to be a rock star also. Okay. He already is. He's halfway there. But Jordan is very much an important part of the football team and a lacrosse champion. And so he's got it going on. How do you two prep your kids for those people on Instagram and Facebook and the media and more or less the internet side of it? How do you prep them for that ugly crap that they're going to read? Because it's out there and you see it. How do you get them in a mind frame to shield themselves from it? Do you two talk about that with them often, or maybe they don't see much of it? Can you kind of touch to that side of it and how you shield them as parents?
Yeah, I'll start on that. So the first thing you try to do is tell them stay off the internet, right? Stay off social media and focus on the sport that you're playing. But we all know that kids that age, that's their lives, right? They're just always on the phone and they're surfing.
Yes.
And so what we've done is we've kind of made light of it, right? And so I mean, you can read something negative and then just kind of get down on yourself and what have you. But one time Jordan might have dropped the ball that was wide open, and I seen some comments, and so I call him up and I'm like, "Hey man, did you see this comment?" I said, "They hate you, man." He goes, "Man, they're on my DM. They're telling me to kill myself." And so we're like, we
Oh,
laugh,
brutal.
but I mean, it's
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's
Right,
gonna
right. Yeah.
we just make fun of it. We're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you can't drop the ball, man. Look what this guy's talking about. If you want that guy to say the same thing next week, you better catch the ball. And so we just really make light of the situation. Otherwise, you absorb it and it
Mm.
becomes you. Now you get all down. So we
Hmm.
just when those type things happen. So
Yeah, you have to disarm the situation, and that's all we try to do. You're playing a game you love. you know you're going to take the criticism. Do your best, if and just move forward. The hate is an unfortunate side
For the game.
of the game that I guess we don't prepare ourselves as parents. Obviously, you don't get that when you're in high school, not at least when he was in high school. So, but you see it here and there. But when you hear it, the bad side is bad. It's really bad. And
Yeah.
as a mom, he handles it better than me. So I'd say he probably handles more of those situations than I do. Um, my mama bear comes out, so it is difficult. I stay off social media as much as possible, and I used to post all the time, and I can't go on it. It's not worth the good stuff is not worth seeing that one bad comment because I can't get rid of it myself. So I let him handle
Yeah.
the helping the boys through it as a mom. I struggle with it myself. So
But
yeah.
you got to realize, right? So they introduced gambling, right? So you got
Hmm.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say that, Jordan should have got 4 catches, but he was only targeted 2 times. So now they're pissed. Like, Jordan, why did you catch 4? Because I just lost 10 grand on you, right? So there's emotions from that side, and you have to understand that and just kind of just brush it off, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do. So
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because I do have conversations with fellow sports fans, and you hear this a lot, and I'm sure you've heard this. It's like, well, they're getting paid now, so they're like basically professionals. And I think it's a load of bull. I mean, it's funny because if you're a professional football player, you play in the NFL. If you're in college, you're an amateur. NIL is simply giving some of these kids some of the money that they certainly contribute to earning for these schools. That doesn't make them professionals. And I don't know where we lose sight of that.
I think
Yeah.
the where you lose sight of it is a professional can wake up and focus on his craft 24 hours a day. These guys have got to wake up, go to get treatment, go to morning meetings. They got to go to class, then they got to go to practice, and then they got to go study. So the professionalism is not 100% there, right? With these guys, because if you want a guy to go in and catch every ball, well, if he had 10 hours a day that he can just sit there with a jug, okay, now he's a professional.
Hmm.
But when he only has a certain period of time, and oh, by the way, the NCAA caps how much time they can practice with the organization throughout a week, which is completely different than the pros. So, I mean, I understand the argument, but I don't understand the argument, right? That these guys are professionals. They're still amateurs.
And they're kids. I mean, some of these kids are 18 coming
Yeah.
in to school. They're not asking for that. When you take a job, you understand what comes with that. They didn't take a job. They took an offer to get a free education. And now the schools or the NCAA are allowing them to get paid for the money that they're bringing in. They weren't
Correct.
asking for it. I think the degree is what you win when you graduate from Notre Dame. So, you're taking a lot of heavy and powerful criticism for doing what you love
Yeah.
and trying to get through college.
And I
And
take
that's the
that
hard
statement
part.
back, right? Notre Dame has kids that are going to class and practice and all these things. There are a lot of schools out there that are on campus, but yet still taking class in the dorms or taking class in their
Hmm.
apartments or whatever.
100%. Well, thanks for touching on that. So let's go back to something I alluded to in the beginning. Your other son, Dylan. Okay, so for those of you watching this interview, you may not know, but Dylan, Jordan's brother, is set for Notre Dame lacrosse. Is it 26, 2000 or
Easily.
2026? Okay.
Yep.
So we're gonna have two Faison stars here at Notre Dame soon. How does Jordan feel about his little bro joining in there at school? And what's it mean to the two of you to have two kids that are going to be standouts at Notre Dame in athletics? How's that feel? I mean, how's Jordan doing with that? I mean, I'm sure he's got to be excited. Talk about that.
I think Jordan is actually really excited. The distance that they've had since he's gone to college has made, the heart grow fonder. So they really enjoy their time now and as
Hmm.
more mature young men.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
rather than how they got along when they lived together. But yeah, I think Dylan is excited. to be there as well. Every time he goes up there, he already inherits all of the people and all of the friends
Hmm.
and that whole experience. So they're thrilled. We are selfishly thrilled because we get to be in one place at one time.
Oh yeah.
So and we both have remote jobs, so if we want to, we can just go up there and stay for a week and just hang out and so for us, selfishly, it's fantastic. We would have gone on any journey that Dylan wanted, but this was the school that he wanted, and for both, all of the same reasons. They're very similar in their goals and where they want to, go in life, and they are polar opposites when it comes to human beings. So Jordan's not, I don't want to say less social, but he's a lot more quiet, more observing, and Dylan is very out there. He's a people person. So it's fun to see them now embracing the things that used to drive them nuts before. So I look forward to seeing them more together because who knows where life's going to take them very quickly after they graduate.
And fun fact, Notre Dame was Dylan's dream school before Jordan.
Really? Wow. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Is his path going to be? I mean, he's lacrosse also. The talks about football are there too. I imagine they've got to be. Is
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's kind of reverse of where Jordan was, right? So he's football, full scholarship, and will be playing lacrosse,
okay.
right?
So
So,
be the opposite of Jordan.
I'm on the opposite. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Very awesome. So I noticed the hat, and actually half of my IMAX screen is the website. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk about Unfazed. I'll give you the floor talk about it. Looks like it is you have Dylan and Jordan as brand ambassadors there. You want to talk about Unfazed and what that's all about?
yeah, so really the way it came about, we always wanted them to do something together. And when you think about NIL, like the true meaning of NIL, like name, image, and likeness, in my perspective, a guy is not going to wear another guy's name on his back, right? So they want you to wear a number six with Faison on the back. But I think that with the Unfazed brand and what it represents, with Jordan's path and Dylan's path, has a lot more meaning to someone who might want to buy a hat or buy a shirt, right? You're unfazed by things that happen. He
Yes.
got thrown in the Louisville game, right? Second play of the game or third play of the game. He gets a bomb from Sam Hartman. He catches it within 80,000 people. He was unfazed, right? And getting pushed into the starting role and the starting midfield line, and as a freshman at the reigning Notre Dame national champions, he was unfazed about it. So it's just about an approach that you take to sports, that anything you go into, no matter how big the stage, how small the stage is, you really should just be unfazed and do what you have prepared to do. And that's what the whole brand is all about. Now, we don't do anything with the brand when we start it, but we will probably start pushing it down the road.
Yeah, their journey, I think, is important for kids who don't think that these things are capable. I mean, to be a two-sport athlete at this level, we saw it with Drake Bowen. We saw it with, was there someone else on the team? I forget. No, maybe just those two for this year. But now we're seeing it more and more with kids coming from our Team 91 program. They're all going now to UNC, Syracuse,
Yep.
all for two-sport athletes since he's done it. And I'm not saying that he's the reason they're doing it, but he showed that you can do it and do it successfully. And I think that we're telling our kids so much that you have to focus on a sport when they're 5 years old. And we never, ever even cared about that. We continued to push the idea that you don't have to settle and be forced into doing something that everyone else is saying that you need to do. You need to do what you think you're capable of and reach those dreams. So hopefully that will resonate with some of the youth out there, and so they go after it too. I mean, it's they're capable.
I
Yeah.
love it. I'm actually screen sharing into our recorded interview here the merchandise. I love the logo. I think it's awesome. It's great. Did you who designed that?
One of the guys that does some work for us at the company designed it.
Very cool. Yeah,
We were
I'll get that out there as well. Yeah, that's awesome.
great.
Unfazed. I'll push that out there also. It's awesome. And I'm a buyer for the hoodie because I like the hoodie with the Notre Dame on the arm too.
It's all
Yeah.
about a mindset, right? At the end of the day, it's not about an individual, right? Anybody can be unfazed.
Love it. I love it. All right. So we've made it through. We're to the lightning round, and then we'll be out of here, okay?
Okay.
Thank you again for your time. All right. Okay. Favorite spot, and I'll take an answer from both mom and dad on these, or if you want to combine forces. Favorite spot on Notre Dame campus.
I'm Grotto.
I'm
Hands down.
I'm the Roars.
Awesome. That's the bar at Morrison, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're cut from the same cloth.
But
Okay.
Very
there's a
different.
reason. So we went to our visit before Notre Dame was Syracuse, right? Which was an awesome visit. But when you come to Notre Dame and all the history, the movie, and
Yeah,
coach has got a polo on, he takes us to Morrison for the. I'm like, okay, Notre Dame's a little different, and so it has a special place in my heart for that.
that's awesome, man.
That's the first place we visited on campus.
Yeah,
When we came, we went straight there to meet for lunch. So it makes it
yeah.
special.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Bet your favorite South Bend eatery when you're in town, if you're not eating on campus there. Where do you go for a dinner?
All right. So dinner, I'll say we love I don't know what it's called, they have an upstairs bar and food area less at LaSalle Grill. So they have the main dining room, which is delicious. We love it there. But upstairs they do live music.
LaSalle
It's
Kitchen and Tavern?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
up
It's
there.
Yeah.
It's
such a cool
awesome.
vibe. They have
Yeah.
great artists who come through. So anyone who wants to see live music, and it is a great place to just unwind. And it's right across the street from, when we're visiting other people in the area. So we can just walk over to it, which is nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so he's right, but we've got kind of categories. So when we first get in town, it's
Yeah.
brother. Right? We go to Brothers and kind of get us into the mood. LaSalle upstairs is obviously kitchen and tavern and what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Before we leave, we always go with the boys to Aspen. And that's kind of our thing with Jordan and a couple of his roommates. And then I've got a place that I like. She loves it too. Uh, the Crooked U.
Oh yeah,
I
the
like.
brewery. The brewery, yeah.
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 Brewery.
I'm a South Bend transplant. I moved to Seattle a couple years ago, so I'm familiar. If it hasn't opened in the last couple of years, I know about it. So
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And I like,
yeah.
I like the things that not everybody goes to, kind of away from Eddy Street. And when I went to that place, it was like, this is really nice. Craft beer. They had good barbecue, so I like it a lot.
Very cool.
We
Awesome.
do we need to visit more places though. Because these past 2 years have been chaos trying to get in. So we're literally in and out. We don't have a lot of time. So we do intend to see more places
Yeah.
once we can stay for a longer period.
Well, once you
Is
have
there
them both there, yeah, it's going to make life a lot easier for both of you.
absolutely?
Figure it out then.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to spend more time in South Bend. That'll be good.
I don't know if they'll
Okay.
like that.
Well, yeah, they'll be okay. They'll live. And it's a short time, It's like what, 4 years, 3 years. So,
Yeah.
It goes to
where does Jordan drag you for a post-game meal? You kind of already talked about this. Where's Jordan want mom and dad take him out?
Well, so I guess we drag him. Like he
Yeah.
wants to just pick something up and go back to their condo.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. Oh, well, Jordan, if he was dragging us out, it would
Mhm.
probably be in the morning,
Okay.
and it would be to Pegs.
Pegs.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's his favorite spot, and Roadhouse Grill.
Roadhouse, something
Yeah,
Roadhouse.
something Roadhouse.
And a dinner, if he were wanting us to go somewhere, wouldn't be after a game. Kodo, is that the place? The hibachi place.
The
Yeah.
fusion place by the mall or whatever. Yeah. The
Yeah,
Asian
yeah, yeah,
fusion spot on Main Street. Cool. Okay. Favorite arena or stadium you've watched Jordan play any sport in?
Wait, played and scored?
Oh, no, played any sport. Any
Oh,
sport.
gotcha. You can go first. I bet mine. Mine is hands down.
I know, but okay, I'm gonna go with where I thought they had a good, because we like to see the stadiums. That's part of our love to go see all the different places.
Yeah.
And the place that we enjoy the most next to Notre Dame,
You,
obviously.
I got my
Oh,
own.
you have your own? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, was Clemson.
that's
Oh,
mine.
oh yeah.
I mean, the people were
Unbelievable.
super, the their what do you call it? Their running, like the whole
Oh
like
yeah.
their walk, whatever, all
Hmm.
the pomp and circumstance around the game, absolutely loved, and the people were very
Yeah,
genuine.
100%.
So it was a good. So you do agree?
No, 100%.
Louisville was Jordan's first touchdown, so I thought that's where you were going to go.
No.
And no, that it
Clemson
has a place
by
in
a
our
mile.
heart for his first touchdown,
Yeah.
and that's it. We'll leave that there.
No, it might not be the actual stadium itself, but it's everything around the game day experience
Yes,
was just
cool.
second to none.
It was
Clemson
cool.
was by far better than anything else I've seen.
Awesome. What well, okay, let's touch on that then. What stadium? Like coolest stadium? What's the coolest venue you've watched him play in your opinion?
That's
Mercedes-Benz is pretty cool.
I was gonna say.
It
Look
is
at all we got in this year. I mean, our
I
team took
know.
us far. We
Yankee
saw so
Stadium,
much.
but for me, stadium wise, it's got to be Texas A&M. Stadium
Stadium.
wise, not the
Yeah.
atmosphere, but the actual stadium was
The
Texas A&M.
stadium itself. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was that one of the loudest games you've ever been in?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, is it a standout?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I was like, holy smokes. I mean, that was
Yeah.
wild.
College football when you're in there. I mean, it was electric,
It
even though it was
was.
for them more so than us. But it
Yeah.
was a
That was fun. Yeah. But there were Mercedes-Benz was great. I love that
Yeah.
stadium too.
Okay, so favorite Jordan sports moment period. Would it be the Louisville touchdown or what either sport? What's your
Louisville always stand out
yeah.
Yes.
because it was first.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's hard to say
yeah.
because every time he walks, and this is probably cliche, every time he walks out of that tunnel in Notre Dame, I get the same exact feeling as the first time he walked out. Like just so it is hard to say because every time I'm at home, so that's my place. Like it just
Yeah,
it you can't top.
yeah. I think Louisville is going to be for me because you're never going to be able to repeat that. No matter how many times he
Yeah.
scores, you're never going to repeat Hartman throwing the ball. I can't see from our seats, and I'm asking you who the hell just caught the ball, and you said it was him. Pretty cool.
Amongst many
Yeah,
screams and whatever.
It was
Yeah,
a cool time.
moment wise, yeah, I guess.
Awesome. Describe being a Notre Dame parent in one word.
So I watched April and Randy's video, so I didn't want to repeat what they said, but I wanted to have a word. I have two.
You go first.
Okay, we can go two. We can cheat. We can go two.
If I can cheat, I want to do two, and they're related. I think resiliency and adaptability are the two words that would describe our journey. For him, for us, for the whole process, we're constantly learning, constantly pivoting,
Yeah.
and constantly fighting back against whatever it is you have to fight for. So, as a family, as a what we know Jordan's going through, those would be my words.
Ask the question again. So,
A sidetrack.
Describe being a Notre Dame parent in one or two words.
being a Notre Dame parent, I guess this is weird to say, just undescribable, right? Because there's a history with the program that as a family for 4 years or a family for 7 years, which we will be, that you inherit, which is crazy, right? So there's that element of it. And then there is the family aspect of it, of the parents that you meet, right? And that, they go on and do better things and they come back. And so you start to build this network, right? And again, it's not describable. Like the way that the Cougans welcomed us last year, right? The kid's been playing for 4 years and here Jordan is a little walk on and they're just, hey man, let's go, grab a beer, we're rolling, right?
Yeah.
That type of atmosphere. And then there's like the coaches, right? Because Jordan's journey was different. He was a walk-on. So my goggles were thinking that the coaches were like, oh, we're doing this to appease the lacrosse program. And when we came up to drop him off in June, we were in this little event, met Coach Freeman one time. And so me and Kristen are sitting at a table, and Coach Freeman knew exactly who we were. He walked up. Hey, glad Jordan's here. We got another lacrosse family that I want you to help us out with. He's going to be trying to, come play for us. He's one of our top targets. And so, like, all those things, it's undescribable. I just can't tell you how it is to be a parent and have all those different elements. When you walk through the airport and you've got like a number six on, and you're talking to someone from Tennessee who is, coming back from a vacation, and it was like, oh, Jordan Faison, and to tell you everything that he's done is
Wow.
undescribable, So that's the word I would use
Good answer.
to
I like yours better.
kind of thought through it.
I didn't too. I wrote it down, and now I take it back. I'm going with his answer.
There you go. You can double up.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got coming up? Next up for Notre Dame men's lacrosse, they face Maryland on Saturday at noon Eastern, Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta. That'll be on ACC Network for those watching. Quincy, Kristen, I say this every time, and I mean it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this. We are a tiny little Facebook group. You didn't have to do it. I know you're both busy, but my group's gonna love it. And thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'll be around a couple games next year. I hope I run into both of you. It's been a blast talking to both of you. Thank you for being so awesome.
Thank you for having
got it,
us.
man.
I
It's
think
fun time.
it's important to get this perspective. So,
It is.
I really appreciated being able to tell our side because, people don't ask. They
Cool.
assume. So to
No, no,
hear,
they do. No, they need to hear this side of it. It's real. I love doing this. I love bringing this perspective to people because they don't get to hear that human side of it from the parents. It's always
Agreed.
the bright lights and the jerseys and the kids, and they're kids. Like
They're
there's,
kids.
so
Listen, man, we want to be
Agreed.
fans too, right? That's what we are. At the end of the day, we're fans, and not just for our own kid, but for the rest of the team and the program. So we see everyone else's lens as well.
Yeah.
exactly. Everybody watching this, go check out Unfazed. I will post the website probably the next interview or two. I'll have the hoodie on. And thanks you two. Go Irish. Thank you so much.
Go Irish.
Have a great day. All right.